Hey everybody, welcome to Born Again to Live Wednesday.
Hump day!
Right in the middle of a crowning session.
That's right. Absolutely.
What's a crowning session called in England?
I don't know. You somehow made me think about being in the dental chair getting a crown.
Well, I have a feeling maybe that's what I need.
Well, wait, there is a word for it. A coronation.
There you go.
That's
there was a word for it.
I know. It's in there somewhere.
It doesn't start with a W though, so.
That's true. Coronation Wednesday.
Yeah, it works.
It works.
It's gonna work because we're not starting over.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in the middle of the talk about these crowns that apparently we can receive, and whether they're physical or metaphorical. All I know is they're good stuff.
Yep. So the first one was the incorruptible crown or the non-decaying crown.
Yep.
The crown of rejoicing.
Yeah.
Because you got the other crown, I believe.
That's right.
So now moving on.
Yes.
To the third crown, which would be the crown of righteousness.
Indeed. This, we were just talking about scavenger hunts. This would be kind of a fun biblical scavenger hunt to give people a general idea of where they can find their crowns and then make them go find it. But, okay, the crown of righteousness is in 2 Timothy chapter 4. I'm going to start in verse 6 through 8.
I had this thought now, and you said that, of making interlocking 5 crowns that make one mega crown.
Ooh.
So when you do the scavenger hunt, you then have to piece them together in the right order.
There
this
you
awesome
go.
crown.
Made out of giant Legos that piece together.
That would be awesome.
Okay. Yeah, this could be a fun Big Blue activity. Put this in our notes for future events. I know this is what happens when we get down a rabbit hole. I get on the theme train express, let me tell you. Okay. We are on, going back. 2 Timothy 4, verse 6 to 8. For I am already being poured out like a drink offering, and the time for my departure is near. So this is all about the persecution that they're going through, that
Paul's going through.
And Paul are going through, right? So Timothy wrote the book, but it's basically Paul that's saying all this stuff, right? Is that?
I think it's a letter to Timothy from Paul.
Oh, okay. I get them confused sometimes.
Yeah, because that's like James was wrote by James.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah, you would think the guy who wrote it would name it.
I would prefer if in parentheses they just had like who wrote the book, because it does give you context. And sometimes we're skipping all over the place and I forget what I'm saying. Okay, so this is Paul saying, for I'm already being poured out like a drink offering, and the time for my departure is near. So Paul knew his time is almost over. He says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. That's a very common expression. We hear that all the time. I fought the good fight. But again, Paul said it first, right?
Yep.
He says, now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. And not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. Yes, indeed. Isn't that cool? For all, not just the disciples, not just the apostles, not just,
Yeah.
For all who have longed for his appearing, meaning people that have sought the Lord, people that, rejoice about being in heaven one day with God.
Yeah.
If you are going to a memorial service for somebody that passed, hits really close to home for me, Eric, but if you're going, if you're at a memorial service and you know that they were a believer and you know that they're with the Lord, you can cry a tear that you're going to miss them, but by golly, there should be some rejoicing because they are with the Lord and they have longed for his appearing. Yeah. So they're getting that crown too.
I guess the definition of righteousness, since he's getting the righteousness crown, would be holiness, right?
Yeah.
Almost like a perfection type thing, being made perfect. That's the crown you receive, is that everything's washed away. You're clean. You're made whole. You're holy. So that's what he's saying. I'm going to finally get that actual righteousness crown.
Yeah.
Because I'm being poured out.
Right.
So, and we can receive that. That is such awesome news. That I can receive a crown of righteousness. That God can look at me and say, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I don't have to punish this person. He is made pure and holy
Yeah.
because of what my son did.
Yeah.
Not because of this person, but because of my son.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, we get the first crown because we're saved. We get the second crown because we're rejoicing that we're saved. We get the third one because Jesus did what he did and made us whole.
Absolutely. And what is the verse says, like, come into your father's joy or whatever. I always think about that. That's the, just come on in and have a seat or whatever. But, yeah, knowing that God has always loved us, but now all that pain, all that just darkness, the garbage. I mean, it talks about in heaven, like there's no more tears because there's no more of the sin. There's no more of the separation from God. There's no more of the hurt, the pain, the guilt, the shame. All that stuff is gone. And that's what's cleansed away. But it's not the Eric. The Eric is still there. Like, you're still you. I'm still me. We're just this beautiful, cleaned up version. And we don't have to take all that human life on earth garbage with us into heaven. We are just all made whole and perfect. And man, that's got to be a really fun place to hang out.
It is going to be. Yeah. Oh,
love it.
Yeah. But, and again, when you dig into these, and maybe, like I said, DJ will tell us if we're gotten more than we should have said or not. But I don't even know if I knew there was 5 crowns before he said that that day. The next one's probably my favorite one. I just think it's the coolest one.
All right. The coolest one according to Eric.
That's right.
Listeners, weigh in. Okay. This is found in Revelation 2:10. And this are the words of Jesus, because it's written in red here on my Bible. It says, "Do not be afraid of what you're about to suffer. I tell you, the devil will put some of you in prison to test you, and you will suffer persecution for 10 days. Be faithful even to the point of death, and I will give you life as your victor's crown."
The crown of life.
Crown of victory, too.
Yeah. So whatever you're going through, whatever's going on, and whatever situation you're in, whatever storm is brewing, whatever tornadoes nearby, whatever you're going through, at the end, you get the crown of life.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay the course. That's all of these have had that pretty much in effect, that you have to stay that course. You have to fight the good fight, run the whole race.
Yeah.
And it's so that we can receive that crown that nobody can ever take away.
Yeah.
The crown of life, though, that I think about that, like, oh my gosh. So just to think that they can't take your life away.
No.
Like, all the devil's schemes and all of his things, if you stay faithful, he can't take your life away. There is no death. Oh, death, where is your sting?
Right.
Like, that's not there because he can't do that. Yep. So you're going to receive this unmovable crown from the only person who can give life, and it can't ever be taken from you.
So, well, and we spent the whole last week talking about fear and being afraid. And so, yeah, he tells you, once again, this is Jesus saying, do not be afraid. But, he also says, for what you're about to suffer. He doesn't say, I'm going to keep you from suffering, because sometimes, a lot of the times, that's part of the deal, Didn't Paul say to suffer with Christ, I count it as pure joy?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Jesus is saying you don't need to be afraid for what is ahead, because, yeah, at the end of it all is this victor's crown of life, and that can never be taken away. And yeah.
See, that's why I think it's the best one, because no matter what, just if you keep your eyes on God and just say, you are Lord of my life, and you give him your whole life, you get all these crowns, but you're not going to get them taken away. You lay them down because you're at the feet of the only king.
Yes.
But he gives them to you. Like, just freely says, here, you're a prince, you're a queen, whatever, or a princess. You're there. You're that person. And he just freely gives them to you.
Yeah.
And nobody can take it off. I think, like, that's the coolest imagery of that locking crown we just talked about, like making a 5-part. Think about that crown, and it's so glued to your head that no one else can take it off but you.
Yeah. Well, and there's nothing to fear. There's no death to fear when you know the crown of life is there. Like, it's right around the corner and it's been promised to you. So
I always like the Billy Graham when he says, I know that when my life ends, I'm going to close my eyes here and I'm going to open them in heaven.
yeah.
And it's going to be simultaneous. And he's like, I know that's what's going to happen because I received the crown of life.
Mm.
And it's so good. Like, if that's nothing can touch you.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what happens here. Because if your eyes close here, you're awake in heaven and you're done. Like, you're going to live forever.
Well, and that's where that joy comes from, right? Because nothing, it's going to take a lot to bring you down. I mean, there is a time for mourning. Absolutely. There is a time for grief. There's even just that sorrow that comes from seeing the pain and the suffering of the world. But we don't have to let all the little things in life get us down. The nasty bosses, the job loss, whatever, the relationships, like all of the stuff that always is trying to pull us down and get us to blame God and get mad at God. Well, God must not be real if he let this happen and he let that happen. That's what the devil wants you to think. And here's Jesus just saying, no. Like, I've got something in store for you. And I need you to not be afraid as you suffer through this, because on the other side of it, there's something way better. And and just really taking that to heart you're just going to get through life not sweating the small stuff, as they say, right? And just not worrying that God somehow has his grand plan for all of creation, but he somehow forgot about you. Like, he hasn't forgotten about you. He's right there. He's got that crown in one hand ready to place on your head. So I don't know. That's very comforting to me, Eric. Like, no matter what, like, it's coming.
Yeah. The next crown is actually, it's funny. In our ceremony to give our licensing and our graduation, Jay could not find a keynote speaker to do our graduation ceremony, so he did it.
Okay.
And he actually read this set of scripture, and it's 1 Peter 5, 1-4. I'm going to ask Amy to read it all.
Okay.
But this was what he talked about, and it hits hard because that's what he's talking to. This is written to the elders, the shepherds, the pastors, the people who are doing this job. And it's written to those. And that's what Jay talked about, like our responsibilities in what we're getting ready to get with our licensing and our ordinations and all these things. But in the midst of this, there's a crown.
Yeah.
And he focused on that crown and what it means to us and what it should mean. And that's again where these crowns popped into my head, and I'm like, oh, we got to talk about this at some point. So
absolutely. All right. So 1 Peter 5, you said verses 1-4.
Yeah.
Okay. To the elders among you, I appeal as a fellow elder and a witness of Christ's sufferings, who also will share in the glory to be revealed. Be shepherd of God's flock that is under your care, watching over them, not because you must, but because you are willing, as God wants you to be, not pursuing dishonest gain, but eager to serve, not lording it over those entrusted to you, but being examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd appears, let me say that again, chief shepherd, that's a hard one to say. And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that will never fade away.
So what Jay, and that day, what he talked about is how Peter's talking to the elders as an elder, and what we're supposed to do is shepherding our flock.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not by compulsion. It's not because you feel guilty. It's not because you're told you have to. It's because you want to do this job. It's because, and why did I go get my license? Well, because God told me to, but because I want to go and help others to find what I have found.
Yes.
And so I'm a willing participant in this thing. But Jay talked about, like, he could only imagine that when his life ends and he's standing there, that at some point in almost this little section, God's going to go, hey, see that little flock over there? That's the ones you brought me.
Ah, nice.
Here's your crown.
That's so great.
And I'm overwhelmed with the thought of, that's my purpose in life. And then that day, that's all I could think about, is when that chief shepherd, Jesus himself, gives you that crown because you were an example to the flock. You
Yeah.
brought the flock to him.
That's so good.
It's so good. And that would be the cool crown, the awesome crown. I know the crown of life is so awesome.
I was gonna say, do you want to change your answer?
Just to think about that the chief shepherd sits it on your head.
I think that's the coolest one.
It's pretty It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. But okay, I just want to, the other things that I'm noticing as I'm reading through this again, what I do love about it is he's also calling out like what's wrong with the pastors, the ministers, the priests of the time, because he's not just saying, oh, do all these good things. So number one, he's saying not because you must. So you're not doing this because anyone told you to do it. It's because you wanted to have God use you, not from pursuing dishonest gain. Because I think, again, so much of the church, like maybe started, like was and definitely became corrupted. So he knows that people will get into this role for the wrong reasons. And we see that play out in church history, right? So it's not for that dishonest gain. And then he says, and not so you can lord it over those entrusted to you, which again, we saw that happen all through church history as well. So, Peter was well aware of the corruption of being elevated to this, this level. And so I love that he just sort of calls it out. So we know, like, okay, you're not fooling anybody, people that are corrupting the priesthood. You have not fooled anyone. God clearly knows what goes on. But for those that actually do their job and do it because they love the Lord and not for all these dishonest reasons, I mean, that's an awesome crown to receive.
Yeah. And then to step across that threshold and to think that he shows you your flock.
Yeah.
That you brought into the kingdom. That to me, that was the ultimate imagery of like why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and now I can't even imagine, like, again, I'm thinking about like if you're in heaven and we're ministering to youth. So let's think all those youth, like we're dead and gone and in heaven, and they start coming in.
Oh, I know.
And he's like, oh, you go to that flock, you go to that flock, you go to that flock. It would be so cool to see that, like to just be there and to have Jesus being like, hey, see that one? Yeah, you help that one.
I mean, what if like heaven is a perpetual receiving line of people, like every day, like, if there's a little, I don't know if it's a rotating door, like ding dong, like, oh, who's that going to be? And you open it and it's somebody that you ministered to. And it's not to say it was just you, but you planted that seed, you watered that seed, you prayed for them, whatever it was. What if like a bunch of your heaven experience is just meeting the people that you got to bring into the flock? Like, then what do you need in eternity?
And if you were the person to greet the person, like they're like, hey, this person gives you credit, so you get to talk.
Right?
You get to see him first. Like, think about that fun. Think about that, like coming into heaven. Or maybe the chief shepherd goes, hey, you want to put this crown on this one?
What? Right? Well, yeah, maybe we're having coronation parties left and right, or maybe we're wearing crowns so that when you kind of greet them and usher them in, they know you're someone of importance. Or and I do love that it says that the glory will never fade away. It doesn't talk about it being corrupted or disintegrating. The glory, like that brightness, that glory is such a hard thing to describe, isn't it? That's all we can think about is something bright and shiny and dazzling.
Yeah, if you're thinking of a crown, I'm thinking of like the most gold with the brightest, different colored gems.
Yeah.
All over it. And like when the light hits it, you almost get blinded by it.
Yeah.
It's so bright.
Exactly.
That would be the crown of glory.
Yes.
In my mind. Maybe in your mind it's not, but it's my mind that matters.
Well, okay, you have a little footnote here about what the word life means in John 10:10. What was that all about? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I know you wrote how long did you write this outline? It says, John 10:10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, it's talking about, I mean, when you're talking about like basically your glory is you got life. And again, it goes back, I probably should have been on the other one, but the life of Christ, like what he's showing you. And again, I don't know. When Jay talked about it, I think I wrote this a little bit before Jay talked about this. So it's just amazing to me that chief shepherd sets it on your head. Like that's the coolest part to me. I don't know. And I wanted to dive into these 5 crowns. I mean, we don't have to talk too much more on them, but again, maybe DJ will come on and educate us more on these crowns.
It's cool. I mean, I've never really given them much thought.
Yeah, I think I've read every bit of those scriptures and never pieced together that they were there.
That there's more than one, that they're, that, I mean, they say that we receive our rewards, but, and I don't think any of us do it for the reward, right? Like, you don't live the life that we live because you don't want to go to hell. You live the life that we live because, as I read yesterday, because God loved us first. He loved us and we can love others. And, so you're not really doing it to get anything back other than like this amazing life and these amazing promises that God has already given us, It's a very, very exciting time, Eric.
It is. And our goal in this podcast when we started was to be educational yet conversational.
Yeah.
So if Amy and I did not know anything about crowns much before, we now know, and I hope you are smarter for that.
Can anyone really be smarter by listening to us, Eric? I don't know.
I doubt it, but we try.
Well, I was going to say, we always ask that God speaks through us. So whether it's through our words or in spite of our words, Lord, speak to your people.
That's right. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. We truly do appreciate each and every person who listens to this thing. I've gotten to the point where I stopped looking at numbers because I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I get enough feedback from the people we love.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Like, I've decided, you know what? It don't matter if 50 people listen on Spotify a day. I don't care. Like, we just need to do what God tells us, and He told us to do this, and we're going to keep doing it until He tells us to stop.
It's willingness, baby.
That's
right. Willingness.
So keep listening, please. All right, talk to you guys later.
Bye, guys.